Hello everyone, and in this video we are going to discuss about something which is known as DevOps. Now, if you're a beginner or if you have just heard this term, in that case I would say that you should watch this video, because this is not a video for the person who has advanced set of skills. They already understand what is DevOps and now they are thinking, okay, I need to learn new tools about DevOps and I will be able to learn from this particular video. So I just want to mention this video is dedicated for person who does not know what is DevOps, because we are going to explore everything related to DevOps for beginners. Okay, now before understanding DevOps, I want to give you a scenario with which it will be very easy for us to understand what is DevOps. So consider this: you are part of a development team, and that is obviously building an application using the following configuration of their particular laptop, if I may. So they have a laptop which has the processor of i7. Then they have 16 GB of RAM, hopefully that is visible on the camera. Then we have PHP version 7.1 and we have Windows 11. So you can see this is a pretty similar sort of a very normal sort of a configuration. We have processor, we have RAM, we have like sort of a platform version, and we have Windows version. So this is the environment on which we are developing our application, and it is working smoothly. Okay, this particular application is working smoothly on the dev environment. This is what we call as dev environment, where we are developing our application which is not available publicly for the end users. Now what happens? You have built your application and now you are shipping the application to the production server. So what you do there, you have 32 GB of RAM, you have PHP version 7.2. Previously it was 7.1. Then you have operating system as Ubuntu 14.04. For some reason we are assuming that these people are using Ubuntu 14.04. There it was Windows 11 and we have i7 processor. Now the question is, will this application work on this production server or not? Well, the generalized answer is obviously yes, it would work. But if we will go into the advanced part of it, it is a good possibility that this application may not work, because the development environment is not similar to the production environment. Okay, so it is very easy. What I have to do, I just have to purchase these kind of configuration and I'll be able to do that. Well, the answer is obviously not that simple. Now, what happens is obviously something which is visible in the background. This, what happens when you move your application from dev to production. When your settings are different, this is the scenario which the team has to face, because since the settings were different in the development environment, this application will not work in the production environment. So why that is so important? Because ultimately the customers are no more using your application, and that is going to create a huge chaos. Okay, so I hope you understood what the problem we are facing, and now we should understand what is DevOps. So DevOps is a process where development and operations work together to keep your software release process smooth and simple. DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is not a language. DevOps is not a software. It is a process where development team and the operations team are going to work together. What is the role of development team? To develop something. What is the role of operations team? To make sure that the application is up and running for the end user. Now, obviously, these two departments are different, and to make them that they are working together, we use something which is known as DevOps. And this is what DevOps is in very, very simple terms. Okay, now we have to understand how the life cycle of DevOps work, because since this is a process, how the process is going to work out and what are the steps I have to take in that process. Now we have taken this particular image from the Atlassian blog. So you can see the process is very simple. It is continuous. You can see the development team, this sort of a scenario is related to developer team, and this sort of a circle belongs to operations team. So you can see the development team is going to build the product, then they are going to continuous integration and deployment. That means they are going to deploy the product. Then the operations team is obviously going to monitor the product. Then they are going to operate the product. They are going to provide the feedback. From the feedback, the development team is now going to plan something, and now they are going to build something. So you can see this process is moving very smoothly from here to here. Now here what is happening, the development team is able to get the feedback which is required to make sure the application is up and running, to make sure the customers are getting the value, and the operations team is in sync with the development team, and they can tell, okay, this is the challenge which we are facing and which is need to be addressed now, so that our customers are getting the exact requirement or the services which we have actually told them that we are providing. So this is a very simple life cycle process of a DevOps, and this is how the process of DevOps work. Okay, now obviously it sounds very confusing. Okay, that sort of a infinite logo which we saw, it sounds very complicated, but why should I use that thing? I can have a team, I can have a discussion with them, and I can simply start using the process without actually implementing it. Well, to answer that, here are some of the advantages we have with DevOps. It offers better collaboration, because obviously since teams are different, it is going to offer us a better collaboration between the teams. Then we are going to have a faster deployment cycle, because obviously if we have a bug, we have to make sure that it is bugged, or I should say squashed, quite fast. If we talk about in terms of quality and reliability, so it is maintained because we are using DevOps process, if I may. The security is also maintained, and finally the process becomes streamlined, so the development team is happy, the operations team is happy, and obviously when they are happy, the customer is going to be happy, because they are getting the ultimate value, which is sort of a requirement of the product. Okay, now as a beginner, I have the question like, what are the set of tools I should be learning to make sure that I can actually jump into this era of DevOps and I can start using them? So these are the few tools, and I would say these are the few popular tools. I have not included every one of them. I've just included few of them. So like you can see, these are the tools. Like we have Git, which is sort of a source control management system. We have Docker, this is a container management system. Then we have Selenium, we have Jenkins, we have Ansible, and we have Puppet. So these are the few tools with which the teams of development, the teams of operations combine their forces, and they make the process of DevOps, and they make sure that the software development becomes smooth like it is supposed to be. Okay, so the obviously next question is, what are the opportunities available in this process oriented development operations DevOps, if I may? Well, the answer is very simple. There are so many opportunities available, and you won't believe there are so many companies, they are looking for people who have this set of understanding. They understand this process, because these days everything is on internet, everything is on cloud. So obviously people need, I should say companies need people who understand what is DevOps. They can manage that, and they can solve the challenges which their teams are facing. So some of the roles, if I talk about, roles are DevOps architect, we have DevOps developer, and we have DevOps manager. All these roles required around 1 to 2 years of experience, because obviously this is not something which you can go and you can start using and start making mistakes, because this is the process where your customer is going to have a break or make sort of a scenario with your company. Okay, so that is it. What is DevOps? I tried my best to make sure that this video is very simple and short. Now, obviously, I understand you have some questions and you have some queries. In that case, I would suggest that please put those queries in the comment below, so that someone from our team can answer those queries. Secondly, if you're thinking that DevOps is something where you can make your career, and if you're planning to make your career in DevOps, in that case, we would suggest that you should reach to our career experts. by filling the link which is given in the description of this video. They are going to assist you. They are going to provide you the thorough knowledge, or I should say the thorough research with which you can actually make a great career out of DevOps. And finally, if you're looking for jobs related to DevOps, you can actually visit to this particular link where we have all the jobs which are available related to DevOps and all the other technologies. But yes, you can start searching for your next job in this particular link. So with this, thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.